Hey YouTube, what's up? It's Erin, and today I'm answering one of the questions that I hear a lot, especially from startup founders, and that question is, where do I start with my marketing efforts? And while a lot of people might be quick to jump into something like, pouring money into ads for acquisition, it's unfortunately not that simple. So I like to look at marketing the same way that you'd look at building a house. Yes, we want a whole home, we want heat, water, cozy furniture, and other amenities, but before we can have any of those things, we need a solid foundation. And marketing is exactly the same way. Building that solid foundation is exactly what we're going to focus on in today's video. I'm going to walk you through 3 of the things that I'd recommend that you do in order to maximize your marketing efforts down the road. Because just like you wouldn't start interior decorating an empty lot, you don't want to go out into the world without optimizing and solidifying your base. So let's take a look at these 3 things that I recommend that you start with so that you're not wasting any time, money, or resources on things you're not quite ready for. All right, so the first thing, and arguably one of the most important elements, is your website. So in today's digital first landscape, your website is incredibly important. And while I could honestly do an entire video series on optimizing your website, and to be honest, I likely will, today we're going to focus on just a few things to get you started. So the most important thing to do on your website is conversion optimization. The goal here is to set it up to convert prospects into leads, customers, or both. Ideally, you'll have multiple entry points into both of these paths. You could convert website visitors, for example, into leads through live or virtual events, ebooks or playbooks, white papers, podcast lists, demos with your sales team, a community. There are honestly so many ways that you can do this. You can also convert prospects into users or customers by offering free trials or paid accounts. Think about it this way. You want to capture all of those individual visitors into either your pipeline or a CRM so that you can begin building a relationship with them. Because if you don't, honestly, they're going to leave your website and you may never get that opportunity again. The second most important thing for your website is to ensure that your copy truly describes your product or service clearly and demonstrates the benefit to the customer and addresses any specific pain points that your company is solving for them. I personally like to highlight the vision or the change the customer will experience if they go with our company because it has a much greater emotional impact. The final thing on the website is to leverage highly optimized, fully customized landing pages that are persona, industry, or use case specific. I recommend building landing pages for each of your core persona groups as well as each of the main industries and use cases that you serve that has copy written specifically for that group and has visuals that specifically speak to the person who's going to land there. Then you can use those URLs for your paid acquisition and targeted campaigns out in the wild versus just sending people to your homepage or another interior page on your site. All right, so the second thing you want to focus on is a basic email marketing funnel. Since we were just talking about optimizing your website for leads, let's focus on that specific type of funnel. In this case, we're going to look at a nurture funnel or a nurture sequence. It's worth noting here that there are other types of funnels as well, and you can have multiple funnels that do the same thing. For example, nurture prospects, but those funnels may be focused on various stages of the buyer journey. For today's video, we're going to focus on top of funnel nurture sequences. A nurture sequence is used when you want to build a relationship with a prospect, earn trust over time, and eventually move that person to purchase your product or service. The idea here is that once you generate a lead into your CRM, you want to send them more than just an initial email. Ideally, you'd have a sequence of emails queued up that are automatically sent out to your prospects to provide them with value, insights, and information about your company. The funnel should really feel like a conversation between both you and the prospect, but it should also help you determine who that person is, what they need most right now, and which of your products or services are best aligned to help them achieve their goals. The best funnels, in my opinion, provide a ton of free value, share customer stories and case studies, ask questions questions to get the prospect talking and sharing, and sell very, very passively. You can use something like HubSpot or MailChimp to set up your first nurture campaign. I like setting mine up on a delayed send, maybe spacing those emails apart anywhere from 3 to 10 days, and then I analyze all of those open rates and click-through rates on a monthly basis to optimize them further. The third thing you want to look at is your content strategy. If you solve a unique problem for your customers, it's a good idea to showcase your expertise around that problem. By providing valuable information around your company's area of expertise, you'll let prospects know that you are knowledgeable in that space, which will then shorten the know, like, and trust timeline. So take a look at your own website and see if there are any areas of opportunity for you to show them that you're the go-to expert in that field and that you truly understand their pain points and challenges, because that will connect them even further to your brand. Another way to establish thought leadership is to help your prospects and customers solve problems through value-added resources and content. For example, let's say that you're a CRM tool, but you know that many of your customers are actually using your platform to help with their sales process. You might want to create a sales playbook, which would then allow you to do lead generation that attracts salespeople to your list through a value offering and not a direct sales request. Both of these tactics tell your customer that you understand them very, very well, so it's worth putting some time and effort into that. I'm going to be sharing more specifically on a content strategy, my content flywheel, in a few weeks, but the main takeaway is that content will allow you to attract the right prospects to your website and do lead generation in a way that is value driven and not necessarily sales driven. Okay, that's all the time we have for today's video, but as always, please let me know if you have any questions. You can simply comment on this video here, or if there's anything that I've talked about that you want me to dive into further, also let me know. I'd also love to connect with you on social. You can find me on most platforms at Erin Blaskie. Feel free to tag me over there with questions or comments, and be sure to subscribe here on YouTube as I publish new videos every single week. So we'll see you next week. Bye.